Hey, how's it going? And welcome to Whisky Wins with me, Stuart, and also if you can see Jasper's here. He's a little under the weather. He had to get some antibiotics and some painkiller. So yeah, he's been a little bit sooky. But today we've got Edradour 22-year-old Barolo Cask finish. Now it says finish, but it's been finished in these casks for 97 months. So I don't really see that as a finish. I see a finish as like something like 3 months. Um, it's natural cask strength at 55.2% ABV. It's got a lovely natural colour as well, all natural. Youngest spirit on the label, 9th of August 1999, and bottled the 26th of August 2021. Cask numbers 830 and 832. Ex bourbon for 13 years and then recast into a small batch of 7 freshly dumped premium Barolo hogsheads. So hopefully that doesn't mean just washed with Barolo, but I'm assuming it's had the Barolo sitting in there for a while and was for actual selling of Barolo instead of just washing the cask out with it. Anyway, that's the box, the tin there. Edradour itself is my first on this whisky, on this distillery. It's a distillery in Pitlochry, just kind of past. It's still Pitlochry, but just past Pitlochry up this hill, beautiful landscape, kind of one track road towards the distillery. We've toured the distillery a couple of years ago, a really beautiful distillery. It's called Scotland's Little Gem. Not sure if you can see that on the cork. And it really is, it's a small distillery, quite almost magical, like kind of fairy tale like the way it is, where it is, the river running through it. It's really quite a picturesque distillery. Unfortunately, during COVID, or possibly just before COVID, they shut their doors to the public, which is a real shame. We went up to visit them not too, just maybe a couple of months ago or a couple of weeks ago to see how the distillery was getting on as they were building new warehouses and stuff. But it's quite clearly labelled that they do not want any visitors. And I have heard that they're either in progress of being bought over by a German company or they have been bought over by a German company. So if they don't allow visitors anymore, it's a little bit of a shame because the shop was like a real Willy Wonka of distilleries, all these different signatory bottles from different distilleries, and it was quite, yeah, it was quite unique, quite a nice shop to see. But we'll get down to this whiskey, we'll get down to this review. I believe it's £235. This was gifted to me by my girlfriend for Christmas. She sought the help of my friend Bart, who guided her on buying this one as she was torn between this and the Bordeaux, but they decided to go for this instead. I've had a couple of grams out of it, as you can see. I've not written any notes whatsoever, so this is going to be off the cuff, so you'll have to bear with me, it might be a little bit long. And we'll add a little bit of water, see how that changes it up at all, but yeah, we'll get down to it and we'll start with the nose. There is a 16-year-old version of this as well, which is a finish, Barolo as well, but it's 160 quid. £235 expensive for this, and 160 quid is expensive for 16-year-old. It's difficult because it's Edradour. It's a distillery that can produce or does produce solid whiskies. The nose, the nose is fantastic. When I first opened this and I took it to Barolo Castle, poured the first dram up there with a little glass in hand, sitting on the grass on the bank, with a stag behind us and a bunch of deer, and then the castle just in front of us. All I can remember is the nose. The nose, it was just the most fantastic thing ever, smelling up there on that hill. It's like those cherry Haribos, those gummy cherry chewy Haribos you get. There's dried dark fruits. There's muscovado sugar. There's a little bit of kind of cinnamon coated red apples or something like that, or just, yeah, red apples dusted with cinnamon. It's very rich for sure. You could almost on the nose mistake it for sherry, just with how deep, how rich, how kind of voluptuous it is. But I think this cherry Haribo sweet kind of gives it away. That it's maybe red wine over sherry, because there's a lot of red fruits as well. Like I said, cherries for sure. maybe some jam, maybe like some, yeah, sticky, I don't know, blackcurrant or strawberry jam. It's a little punchy on the nose. Water may help it. I've had a couple drams of this, 1 dram with water, and I do seem to remember enjoying it more without water. But it might have just been because it was warming me up. But we'll try it with a little bit of water and see what it does to it. Like I said, I've not taken any notes, so this is all off the cuff. Usually I do compile notes previous to doing reviews and compile them over several nights so I can get a good overall opinion in the whiskey, and then I use them in my videos. But this is just fresh off the ramblings of my mind. So we'll go to the palate without the water. Mm. Yeah, that's what I remember as well. The nose is definitely the shining star of this whiskey. The palate's lovely, but the nose is where all the glory goes. That rhymed. um, so the palate, yeah, it's drying. It definitely draws the cheeks in with this kind of drying aspect. There's a lot of oak and wood elements there. There's maybe something like a kind of raspberry rip. Is raspberry ripple maybe too artificial, too tart? Maybe something. Yeah, no, I will go with like a raspberry. Is it roulade? Roulade is the gambling. A raspberry roulade. I just know it's a raspberry roly poly. It's like that. Um, but I feel like the bitter kind of drying element is more forceful than the sweetness. The sweetness is at the back of your palate rather than the forefront. So I think the water might help that. There is a bit of creaminess there, just as I was speaking, as I got a kind of second wind of the dram. I'm taking our sip. Mm, mm. Yeah, there was just a little bit of cream, but the drying aspect kind of overtakes it. I'm trying to think what this cream could be. Maybe just like a kind of buttery biscuit or buttery shortbread or something like that in the palate. We'll try a little bit of water in it, see how it goes. I'm just going to enjoy it because it is actually such a fantastic dram, and yeah, I'm struggling to get some notes here and stuff, but I don't care because it's just such a good whiskey. Sorry to spoil the review. Let's see. There we go. Let's see how that opens up at all. Yeah, syrup now. Strawberry sauce. There's a there's definitely like a varnishy element, but that strawberry, that cherry, the fruit, red fruits, it's just such a nice nose. I'd even like say I say quite a lot when I get this scent, this nose, the strawberry laces, that kind of sweet gelatine gummy nose or scent or taste that you get. Oh yeah, it's just great. The palate with the water. Mm. Still drying. I want to say something like uh, pomegranate juice because it is a little bit tart, and I feel like pomegranate, or was it cranberry? Pomegranate or cranberry, maybe pomegranate. Yeah, because pomegranate juice, when you have like a maybe we have a pomegranate chicken recipe, and it requires pomegranate juice, which is quite an expensive juice for some reason. But anyway, maybe it's because they're such small fruits and doesn't carry a lot of juice. I don't know the logistics. Anyhow, the juice is nice, but it can be quite drying, and this is the experience I'm getting. So maybe like, yeah, pomegranate juice. I don't know what else to say. I'm kind of like lost for words. The finish is long for sure. It's warming. It's still quite bitter. It's a nice mouthfeel. You've got quite a thick mouthfeel in the finish. Mm. There is a lot going on as well. I should really have taken notes for this, but I just wanted to review it. I just wanted to show you how happy it makes me. It's just a fantastic whiskey. The finish, you are getting quite a kind of tart and bitter experience, and I feel like I get this quite a lot with red wine influenced whiskies. And I feel like it's something I get when I drink red wine, whenever that occasion is. It's very seldom, very far and in between, because I'm not really a fan of wine. But yeah, I would say I would say it's kind of winey. I'm getting like a lot of gummy sweets, like a lot of red, maybe just wine gums, just to be so generic and so easy, and find the easy way out, like wine gums, just like, yeah, gummy fruity sweets. And it's just delicious. It's fantastic. It's a little fizzy. I feel like I got a little bit of cola there or something like that on just as I was speaking. But yeah, it's great. So we'll get down to the review and the conclusion. So how I rate my whiskies, if you're new here, is on three factors. And that's, would I buy it again? Do I think it's worth it? And would I recommend it? So, do I think it's worth it? £235, the RRP is round about there. Is it worth that? That's expensive, but it's a class whiskey. It's complex, it's full, it's flavoursome. You're going to get lots of different tastings in there, cutting it back with water, putting it to different kind of levels of ABV and exploring it that way, and you're really going to get a lot from this whiskey. But there are probably other whiskies out there that could provide that experience at less of a cost. So I don't think I can justify a 22-year-old whiskey at £235, and I'm glad my girlfriend did it for me, because I would have missed out on an absolute belter of a whiskey. And that's what's the issue with these prices, is it kind of puts you off. So I don't think it's worth the price tag. Would I buy it again? Yes. And I know that sounds hypocritical, but god damn it, this is good. It's so good. I'm going to be so gutted when it's gone as well. If I can see it on auction, I might try the 16-year-old, see what that is like compared to this. But this is fantastic. This has been a highlight. What are we, August? This review should be out in August, so this has been a highlight already this year. I suppose that's 8 months in. I've had quite a few whiskies. There's been a few that have maybe. There was another one that I remember saying that could have been a whiskey of the year, but I feel like this is just blowing it out of the water. I can't even remember what that whiskey is now because of how good this is. So I would get a bottle again. I wouldn't want to pay £235, absolutely not. If I could get it for cheaper, I would try. If I had to pay £235, I probably could justify it to myself. But I reckon I'd keep it away. I reckon I'd buy it and just after this bottle, I reckon I'd buy it and just forget about it. Try and forget about it for 5-10 years and come back to it and just relive the experience of being on that hill and opening it for the first time. Yeah, that sounds very romantic. And do I think you should try it? Would I recommend it? Easy. Recommend it all day. It's absolutely gorgeous. So it's 2 to 3. It's 100%. Hopefully that focuses a Whisky Win. That's all I've got to say. Jasper's left me. He's seen me get too giddy at this. So thanks for watching. I've been Stuart. This has been Whisky Wins. I'll see you later.